Please welcome to the show, Jim Norton.
Jimmy!
Hi, guys.
Oh, Jim.
How are you?
Jim, you know what? We're a lot better, man. Whenever I listen to your stuff and talk to you, it really it just makes me feel like a little bit of breath of fresh air in an overly tactful world.
Well, I feel so guilty about that material. I mean, to really judge a woman by her body type, that was very shallow of me.
Oh, it surely was.
How annoying would I be if I had like a spiritual awakening and I didn't want to say mean stuff anymore and I just kind of poo-pooed everything? I can't stand people that actually deny their earlier work. I've been garbage all along.
Well, yeah, and Jim, and look, and I've said this before, that's what helps you grow is by basically taking a look at your garbage and just being happy with it because it's what got you from point A to point Z. It's just how life is.
Yeah, and I've never. Colin Quinn said something about me which I liked in the forward to my first book. He said I kind of stand up for the mediocrity in us all, which was an odd compliment. But I've never been afraid to take like what I hate about myself, and I mean really hate. And you kind of take the shame out of it when you tell everybody. Once you expose yourself to the audience, you kind of remove any shame that can come with it.
Jim, you think about all of the great comics. We're talking the Lenny Bruces, the Richard Pryors. I mean,
sure.
That's what made them special is that for the time they were doing what they were doing, they were making people go, wow, I would never tell anybody that, though that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, and even a guy like Carlin, who didn't reveal so much of himself personally, still talked about subject matter and attack things in a way where you're like, wow, I can't believe he's going in that direction. There just has to be some kind of a surprise. Pryor's my favorite, though, because of the vulnerability. It was like, the guy's mother was a hooker, and he talked about it. I mean, how do you not love a guy who just opens himself up like that?
Exactly, because, I grew up in this. I'm about the same age as Pryor, maybe a little younger. But, Jim, I grew up in a time where everybody was messed up. Everybody was drinking. Everybody was drugging. Nobody knew how to parent kids the way we're told to today. And
right.
You know what? I still made it out okay. You know what I mean? As opposed to these little brats that are entitled and, cry if you don't give them that $80,000 a year job when they get out of college.
Well, have you noticed, obviously it's depressing when people kill themselves, but if you've noticed, there's been a rash of college suicides, like especially at NYU, they're just jumping out of the windows, and it's because when they're kids, these like 20-year-olds, there's been no score kept, so they're not used to losing. They have no idea how to lose or how to accept failure or how to be told, hey, you suck, readjust. They've been told, you're the best, you're okay their whole lives, so now they get to college and they can't do something and they throw themselves through the window. That's what's happening. It's because nobody is getting these tough lessons when they're younger.
And you're right, Jimmy. And you talk about basically, in your books, in your act, you talk about just how miserable of a loser you were.
Sure.
And you know what? You were in the goddamn Spider-Man movie. That's something a lot of people would love to have done, never got to do. And that's probably because they were never honest enough to really see where they fit into society.
Well, it's unfortunate. Like my Spider-Man appearance is much like my appearances in the Kevin Smith movies. One line and done. I think people realize that it's kind of fun to have me in for one line before my horrendous acting can really destroy the film. Dude, I am in and out of films very, very quickly. I don't think Zack and Miri, I had one line. I had like one very small scene in Cop Out.
Yeah.
And then they finally just made it a voiceover over a beach scene with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. I'm very mediocre in that department.
Well, I'll tell you this, though, Jim, I'm hoping that we get to see you in the upcoming season of Louis, which I have to say, man, I love that show because I love Louis C.K. because, you know what, he's making that on a shoestring budget and getting a lot of folks just to basically do scale for those performances, and there's good stuff in that show. You'll be in it this year.
I hope so. I mean, Louis said he had wanted me to. I haven't as of yet, but again, who knows what direction he's going in. It's funny because I've been writing something for myself. I have not watched Louis' show. And it's not because I don't like Louis. It is literally because I have such respect for the guy. I don't want to be influenced by what he's doing. And so whenever I'm working on a project, I refrain from kind of watching other things because you never want to pick something up and not realize, oh, God, I'd hate to have somebody tell me, hey, Louis did that already. I just don't want to know. But everyone said the show is amazing, and he's such a genius comic.
Yeah, it's funny because if you talk to radio personalities, of course, Jim works at Opie and Anthony and does that radio show, which is a great radio show on Sirius XM. And a lot of radio guys do the same thing. We don't like to listen to other shows for that very reason because if you love a show, how can you, this is what we do. This new thing is called memeing, memes. How do you not sort of pick up somebody's stuff that you love and next thing you know, it's part of your life?
And you don't even mean to, because especially on radio, it's like people, it's like we talk for 4 hours a day, and it's like sometimes when you're looking for things to talk about, all of a sudden you pick something up and you don't realize, oh, I heard that. And as a stand-up, if you do that, it's not just a one and done like on the radio, because you can't repeat today what you did yesterday. As a stand-up, you can repeat it. So all of a sudden you take an idea you heard, and then you're developing it and making it into a bit, and before you know it, you're doing 70% of somebody else's bit without having meant to do it. And then you get called out on it, and you're like, well, I'm not a thief, so I got to drop that bit. And now you have a big hunk of your act missing. It's very frustrating.
So, Jim, we've been wrestling over the royal wedding, and I know you guys, I don't know if you've been doing the show with the guys this week or not, but we've been we've been wrestling over the royal wedding because we're a guy station, and, I don't know any American straight male that gives a crap about this stupid wedding, and yet, of course, 2 billion people did watch it, and pretty much almost every American woman, which really is disappointing to me, seems to care. And I'm wondering what your take was and what you guys talked about this week about it, because we were just miserable even thinking about it.
Well, can I say, today when I walked in, it was just about to start, so we started at 6 on the East Coast, and we played an hour and a half of the wedding straight and just attacked it barbarically. We brutalized it and played sound clips and just made a humiliating mockery of it. I will say this, though. Kate Middleton has a pretty nice hiney, and her sister, what's her name, Pip or Pippa? Like, I really want to sleep with Kate Middleton's sister, so that kind of made it worth it. But it's just, it's a very uninteresting event to me. Like, Diana and Charles's wedding was kind of interesting back then. But it's like, now that there's reality TV and we're all kind of tired of the royal family, this just seemed like, who cares? Let's just attack it, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to go, because, I mean, I reminded people, we got away from those idiots because of the royalty, and we didn't think that was the way to run a country. I mean, that's
right, the monarchy stinks. We basically, we lose, 1 million people fighting to get away from that, and now we just can't get enough of them in our lives. It really is silly. And Queen Elizabeth, if you saw her today in that horrible yellow outfit, she was dressed like the guy who owns Curious George. She looked ridiculous. She really looked like an idiot.
Oh, that is an awesome image. Like the guy that owns Curious George. When did you think you'd be able to fit that reference in, Jim? Good for you.
It's very rare you get to mention the man in the yellow hat, and thank God she showed up in that outfit today.
Oh, man, that's classic. That, you know what? Like, the 5-year-old of me is laughing at that joke. That's going way back in time for Curious George. That's awesome.
Dude, it's amazing how Curious George is timeless. No one doesn't like Curious George, and no matter how old people are, they know who he is. I don't even know how people know him today, but they do.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think they did try to bring him back.
That's a good point. Like, what are they doing right now with Curious George?
They did do a cartoon. I thought they did do an updated cartoony kind of thing that because we don't have kids, so what the hell do we know?
I haven't seen that.
So I don't know if that's helped, but but still, you're right, man. Curious that the guy, and there's a guy that never got any real play because nobody really talked about him. It's all about the monkey, but there was a guy that owned the monkey. You're right.
Yeah, and the guy who owned the monkey, by the way, like whenever Curious George would need a piece like to a puzzle, he was the guy that had to induce vomiting and do all the things that they didn't show you in the cartoon. Curious George really was a disaster. I'm surprised they didn't show him throwing things like monkeys do in cages.
That's right.
That's a special episode of Curious George.
Or and the funny thing is that we had our afternoon show, the Men's Room, had that. There's a guy on that does this documentary about all these pets that people have that are wild animals that they shouldn't have, and the whole monkeys, the people with these monkeys, and these monkeys are crazy ass dangerous bastards that rip your freaking face off, like that old lady up in was it New England or Vermont?
She was in Connecticut.
Yeah, the Connecticut. It's pretty funny how we like to look at these little creatures as cute, but they are like deadly ass. They're badass crazy.
That would be a very funny update to Curious George, where the man in the yellow hat, like say his female friend comes over, and George begins eating her fingers and face, and the man in the yellow hat is crying on the phone to 911 in the car. That would be a really hilarious update to Curious George. He attacks the guy's female friend.
Furious George.
Yeah. So we got Jim Norton, and Jim, all week long we've talked to everybody on this big comedy tour that you guys are doing. We've already we talked to Dave Attell, Jim Brewer, and Bill Burr, and of course we got you, and these guys all seem to be so stoked to be able to watch the rest of you guys on there, and that's got to be cool because you know how it is. You go do comedy, you never know sometimes who your middle act is going to be,
right,
who the MC is going to be, but it's just you four guys. That's got to be cool.
There's so many vomit-inducing comedians around. I mean, really just horrible and not trying. and you're working like it's easy to say, but like I really am working with three of the funniest guys I know, and I'm friends with those guys for years. Every time you see Burr or Jim or Dave, they have different material. Like they're all prolific comics. It's nice to work with guys that I genuinely respect and I genuinely like as people, and they're all funny dudes. I host the show, and I'm glad I host the show because I get to go on first. I don't have to follow any of those animals. It's really nice, my spot on the shows. I get to go up to host and kind of keep it moving. And the shows have been phenomenal so far. We're actually doing one 2 nights from now, tomorrow night in Connecticut.
Well, Jim. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I love when you guys come to town, and you're a good dude. You are one of the nicest performers that out there. Very customer friendly, and this I give a compliment to you. I tell everybody, I go, I haven't seen anybody like this since Sam Kinison, and anybody that's ever worked with Sam knows how great he was to customers, the people that went to the show, and I always thought he was a consummate professional and a very loyal dude too.
Thank you very much, man. As long as you don't compare me to Sam when it comes to eating or driving.
Yeah, I'll be driving. So Jim, I got to know, what have you guys been thinking about Trump running for president and all this crap with Obama and everything? I got to know where you stand on this.
I don't think I think Trump is making an ass out of himself at this point. I don't think it's race based though. I think that people go too far when they call him a racist. I think that like politics is so disgusting. Like Whoopi Goldberg is playing the race card. It's like
I know.
Obama's the president. Look, they ran a story about Bush that they knew wasn't true with his military service. With Clinton, it was what it was. With he'd be like put a map of Hawaii on a dress. Do you know what I mean? With Nixon, it was the Watergate thing that spun out of control. Yeah. Whatever they can get you on, they try to get you on. There's nothing here with Obama. They tried to get him with, Reverend Wright. They tried to get him with William Ayers. It's politics. They just try to kill you with whatever they can.
Oh, it's so obvious with Trump, too, because he immediately, as soon as they produced the birth certificate, he goes, yeah, but what about his school? He was stupid, and he went to school. And it's like, well, he wouldn't be the first stupid person that got privileged. I mean, come on.
And the problem with Trump is, and this is everything that's wrong with people in politics in this country, instead of saying, okay, I'm an ass, I didn't think there was one, but there was. When Obama produced it, all he keeps saying is, why didn't he do it sooner? And this is not a political thing. I just think Trump is a pompous guy, and it's like I've seen Howard Dean react that way, just like an ass when he got caught being wrong. Sometimes you have to go, you know what? I'm an idiot. I made a mistake. And none of these guys are willing to do that on any level and in any party. But no, Trump is not going to run for president. He's not a serious candidate. I do not believe that at all.
Yeah, and it's still, Jim, even still, he is the front runner. I just saw a poll today. How insane is this that you're right? I don't think he's going to run either, and yet everybody still says they'll vote for him from the Republican Party. It's nuts.
They say that, but when it came right down to it and he had to start taking real positions and having real policies, again, he's like Ross Perot in the sense of people hate the two-party system so much. Like, had Ross Perot not freaked out and just turned into a lunatic, he probably would have won.
Yeah.
Because it was people rebelling against the two-party system. And I think that's kind of what any kind of even though Trump would probably run as a Republican, he's seen as an outsider. So I really think that is why people are giving him a little bit of respect right now, just because he's seen as an outsider in a system that we all are kind of tired of.
Well, Jim, I thank you for being with us. I hope we're going to get to have you on before the show is. I know we talked to Jim Brewer yesterday, and depending on the scheduling, we thought it would be just fantastic to have you guys all in studio at one time. But whatever we can do, we'll do. But I surely am looking forward to Friday, July 1st, when you guys all take the stage at the Paramount. It's going to be an awesome show. And I thank you for coming out and doing it with Jim, because we love great comedy, and you guys definitely do that. So, man, we'll see you then.
Thank you, BJ. I love you guys, and thanks for supporting the show, and I'm happy you're a part of it. I really am.
All right, take it easy, Jim.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you.
Jim Norton right there.
Our next guest was recently in the news for having the pleasure to experience what it's like to be a 20-something woman that's a fan of politics, as he got to see Anthony Weiner's wiener minus the bulging underpants. Please welcome to the show, Jim Norton.
Jim!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Jim. Welcome to the show, young man.
I'm doing good. Is everybody okay?
You know what? We survived the slut walk. Did they have any slut walks in New York at all? When the women were all mad at the Toronto police officer for saying women shouldn't dress like sluts if they don't want to get hurt? And
I didn't hear that. Was he kind of blaming the victim and getting a lot of crap for it?
He did, and so all over the world, a bunch of women have organized these. They call them slut walks, and they've had them all over the place. And Seattle just had theirs this weekend.
What exactly is a slut walk?
Well, I know, really. It almost sounds like a Monty Python bit.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I'd love to be a part of it, whatever it is, but I've just never heard that term.
Well, here's it is. So the guy said that women shouldn't dress like sluts if they don't want to be attacked. I mean, that was pretty much the basis of the fact that he's like, this cop was like, a lot of women run around dressed like sluts, and then they get surprised when they're attacked by some rapist or whatever. And women went crazy and thought this guy was a jerk for saying they should have to watch how they dress. And so they decided, what we're going to do? We're going to organize these walks, these protests where we'll wear hardly anything and be very scantily clad in protest to what this cop said. And they've been doing it all over the globe. And like I said, we just had ours in Seattle. I didn't know if New York said, don't even try that, you morons, and get out of here. I'd have no idea.
Wow, I don't know, how have I not heard about that? I've really been too busy looking at photos of the stupid congressman's hog, and I'm missing out on all these fantastic slut walks. I'd much rather be aware of the slut walk than the congressman's hog.
We'll send you.
But I have not heard of it.
I'll make sure Rev sent you a story if you guys want to rap about it, because it's the dumbest thing in the world, and I think they're still doing some more of them around the rest of the world. And of course, Seattle, the women like to think they really want to protest the hard issues, as it were. And
yeah, of course.
So it's just so dumb. But I have to say, I was so proud of you guys. I was so proud of the show where here comes Breitbart, comes into your show, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but then just all of a sudden says, "Yeah, I'll show you guys the photo." Which you got to, Jim, you got to take. By the way, Jim Norton's going to be at the BJ Shea Comedy Riot. It is next Friday at the Paramount Theater. Tickets at tickets.com and the Paramount box office, and it's Jim Norton, Jim Brewer, Dave Attell, and Bill Burr. It's going to be a hell of a show, and we're so stoked. We're going to be there as well, and everybody hangs out after the show, and they'll do whatever, they'll say hi, whatever. It's an awesome event for one ticket.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we always do. We sign at the end, and we're really happy that you are a part of it. We're very happy.
Yeah. So Jim, you got to take me through this just because it was fantastic. This guy's career, he might have had a shot at saving himself and not having to resign, but as soon as you guys basically had Breitbart in your studios, it was done.
Well, I'll tell you, that was he would have had to step down anyway, I think, because first of all, if Breitbart had that photo, it was sent to somebody else. Somebody else has that photo. And also, all of the damaging conversations.
Yeah.
The photo that Opie and Anthony Twittered was actually the one that made Pelosi finally call for his resignation, but it didn't matter because there was so much. Like, then he contacted a 17-year-old, and even though apparently it wasn't terrible what he said, there was just too much stuff building up. And, he showed us what a good liar he was when he said certitude. Yeah. Nobody says certitude when they're telling the truth. You just don't do it, But Breitbart, it's like he said to us, is there any, I don't want to take this out. And I was sitting there with Vincent D'Onofrio, and I'm like, come on, man, there's no camera. Meaning, like, our guy Sam was filming the whole thing. We all knew there was a camera in the room. There was nothing hidden about it. He was standing between Opie and Anthony holding a video camera. But I was implying that Vincent D'Onofrio and I were not going to pull out cameras and snap photos of his cell phone. I had no premonition that the phone was going to be passed around the studio. It really was not a pre-planned thing. Breitbart had nothing to do with it. He was furious.
Yeah.
And I went in and did an interview with this guy, Tom Papa, and I come out, and our booker goes, "Can you believe that they Twittered that picture?" I'm like, "What picture?" And then I find out that the nude photo has been Twittered all over.
Wow.
Because the whole time I thought it was kind of like his way of releasing the picture without really releasing the picture.
No, I had to talk to Breitbart, because I know Breitbart. And that night, because he had said on Greta Van Susteren's show and on Elliot Spitzer's show that, well, Jim Norton assured me there was no cameras. And I'm like, why would I say that? Like, I wouldn't lie to the guy. I'm a pretty straight shooter. And then I watched the video. And I'm like, oh my God, that's when I said it, and I knew why I said it. So I actually called him and told him, look, I'm not I don't do stuff like that. It wasn't some tabloid thing I did. And he believed me, and he stopped saying it.
Well, that's cool, but at the same time, Jim, as a guy that hosts a show, the person that did get that on video, it's a brilliant move, but at the same time, not what you guys intended. How did it go for whoever it was did get it on video, and then how it got on Twitter is another bizarre thing, and I don't know what you guys have been saying about that so much.
Well, it got screen capped, or someone took a picture of it with their cell phone camera, and they Twittered it. But when you come into the studio, you sign your life away. as far as privacy and all that stuff and your right to privacy. So I don't think there was any ever legal issue of it.
Oh, that's
and it was one of those things that, Breitbart was not trying to leak that photo, but I think even he realizes by this point that so much other stuff has come out. It wasn't like this was the only thing that came out about this guy. And I kind of felt bad that he had to resign, though. Like, even though Andrew raised a good point, when guys do stuff like this, they open themselves to blackmail, which does affect us, the public. And I kind of agree with that. Like, if Mel Gibson does it, who cares? But if it's an elected official, it's like, you know what, they're voting on policy, and if they're doing things that make them more blackmailable, well, there's certainly something to consider there.
Yeah,
but I kind of felt bad. Like, after watching Wiener clips online, I kind of liked him more. Like, I never knew anything about him. But, like, after watching what an animal he was in Congress, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this guy. He screams and he yells and he fights. So I'm kind of bummed that he had to resign.
Yeah, well, I can imagine, Jim, because if anyone's read your books, you have a lot in common with at least a part of his life.
Oh, I'm a pervert. Yeah. But I mean, and it's funny. I tend to skew politically, probably very opposite of him. But we have that in common. That really does cut across all political ideologies.
Absolutely.
If you have a cell phone camera, you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to send it to somebody. You just should know who the person is, because he was kind of sending it to random people. And he looked like a creep in the photos. Like, all the ones in the congressional gym of his face, he didn't look happy. I mean, that's the face that a hooker sees when she's being buried in a shallow grave. It was just a horrible, newt-like stare. It just didn't look sexy or fun. It just looked rageful.
Yeah, you're right. It surely did. It was not something that would be considered romantic by any stretch. And the poor bastard, his wife is considered like one of the hotter people in the world of politics. She's 3 months pregnant. She's working with Hillary, and and next thing you know, here's what's coming down her pike.
It really does. It really does kind of. It's a bummer that they have to deal with this. It's a shame that they do.
But Jim, it's men. I mean, when are the women and everybody else going to wake up that high-profile, really successful men have high sex drives? So it's really not a big surprise that if somebody makes it all the way to the White House, like Bill Clinton, is it a surprise that somebody's got to take their dress to the cleaners? No.
No, you're right. And it's like, I think it's like when Schwarzenegger cheated, nobody was surprised. Although I think we were a little surprised at his choice.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, wow, I guess Arnold wanted to bang the bassist from Van Halen. All right. She really was a fat Michael Anthony.
I was thinking more like Lou Graham from Foreigner, but yeah.
She's just an awful woman. But hey, look, I guess she figured him out sexually, and I think that's a big part of it. It's like when you have the amount of choices that Arnold has, like Anthony Weiner is more like me, just he's in better shape, but he's trolling on Twitter. But when you're Schwarzenegger, you have your choice of anybody.
Yeah.
And so it's probably a mental thing that turns him on, like whether she was matronly or maybe I think she smacked him on the ass one time joking around, like, pick up your underpants, Arnold. And I'll bet you that's what got him. Like, it was probably some act of dominance over him, and every woman he sleeps with thinks that he's dominant, but he's probably just a big, dumb submissive. And I'll bet it was something weird like that triggered him on her.
Oh, man, it's so true.
Yeah, it's like poor Maria Shriver, who I like, but she had to make this statement like... she's like, I'm really embarrassed that my husband would behave like every other man in my family.
Yeah, exactly. Really... She's getting advice from Uncle Ted. I mean, it's just like, here's what you need to do in order, because apparently she's known about this for years.
Well, she used to talk to the maid about it, and you got to feel bad for Shriver. She would actually confide in the maid about her husband's philandering. Yeah. And maybe that's what did it. Maybe she gave away a secret. Like, I can't believe him and his giant hog are out there. And the maid went, giant hog. It was probably something like that, where she told the maid too much information and she didn't think that this big fatso had a shot at it.
And I just love that the kid started looking like him, and that's when the red flags are coming up. Like, why does this kid look like my husband?
Dude, it's impossible. Two Guatemalans could not have made that baby. He looks just like Arnold.
I know, he really does.
But I tell you, that woman can keep a secret. Like, if I shook Arnold's hand on Twitter about it, she had a kid with him for 15 years and kept her mouth shut. Like, you can't hate that woman. Like, she finally confessed to Maria Shriver. I guess she got grilled because the kid looks so much like her. But you can't hate that maid at all.
Well,
I think, cannot.
Jim, I think that's old school, though, because she probably thought she'd be in a box somewhere, because that's what would happen to you back in the old days. Because she has a husband, too, and like you don't think he can put two and two together either, and he said nothing either.
Yeah, they both kept their mouth shut. I'm sure Arnold kept her on the payroll for a reason. I mean, and that's probably what eventually happened. I think that the woman got fired, and then she got kind of pissed off about it, and she felt like she shouldn't have been fired. But it's like, how do you blame Maria Shriver for firing you? You're having sex with her husband in her bed. I mean, that kind of makes it. That should be fireable. I mean, I don't think the union covers you.
Yeah, it should be fireable. But you have two employers, and one of them was the one that slept with you in the bed. So the union might go, well, hold on a minute here as well.
That really is a problem. I think the Dodgers are having that type of the problem with the married couple. Break it up.
That's right.
But I kind of feel bad for Shriver. That's humiliating to have that come out that he was sleeping with a woman he met. I think she was the lady. He actually met her on the set of Total Recall. She was going through the airport and her head came apart. Remember that lady?
Oh, that lady.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah. I love that. What a great relate. That was a very attractive woman.
Yeah, wasn't she wonderful? Just a big fatso. It makes me respect Arnold, though, that he just went pigging in his own house. What guts to do that at home.
That's awesome. Well, I got to tell you, man, we're so looking forward to seeing you next Friday, Jim. I mean, it's going to be a hell of a show with you.
Is that next Friday already?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude. I didn't realize it was that close. Wow, man, the summer is really moving. I did not realize that was next Friday.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great show. Dave Attell, Jim Brewer, Bill Burr, of course, who we have on the phone here, Jim Norton, all on one stage at the Paramount next Friday, July 1st. And tickets are on sale right now through livenation.com, tickets.com, and the Paramount. And it's going to be awesome. And, Jim, we're looking forward to it, man. It's just going to be an evening of great fun, and we're so stoked, man.
I'm happy you guys are a part of it, and the shows have been amazing so far. We all go on stage at the end and do something together, and I really appreciate you guys being a part of it.
No problem, bro. We'll see you soon.
All right, BJ. See you soon. Take care, guys.
Jim, please welcome to the show Norton, Dave Attell, and Bill Burr.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Hey, guys, thanks for getting up. I know this is completely off schedule, so and Jim, I don't know what schedule you're on because East Coast, you do the morning show with O&A. I have no idea what schedule you're on. Thanks for coming in.
I never mind waking up. Other comics hate it, but I'm used to it.
Yeah.
I figured I'd start off with a really funny thing.
I thought you were doing that deadpan thing, Jimmy.
Over the wall. That was out of the park, buddy.
It's Jack Benny's birthday. He's just doing a little tribute here.
And tonight, of course, is it's the Antisocial Network tour. It's the Comedy Riot, which thanks for putting your tour onto our thing because you know me, Jim. I don't like to just bring any comic in who's appearing at somebody's comedy club. I just don't like people to pay money for crappy comedy.
Hey, right here.
Dave, you've done a lot better lately, really.
I'm working at it. I'm rising to the bar. I mean, these are great comics. I'm trying to be, hold my own with them.
We just try to keep the salty language to a minimum. We don't like a show that anybody's going to be offended at.
Right.
Absolutely.
We're bringing our kids tonight.
Yeah, very
I don't want to oversell this show, but is it really going to be a riot? I mean, is it going to look like Grease right now? I mean, are people going to be... is it going to be a water cannon on the street?
It's going to flip a couple cars like in Vancouver.
That's right.
Isn't that hilarious what it takes to make white people riot? You know what I mean? Everybody else, Middle East, are rioting against dictators.
Yes.
Police brutality, and then white people, it's just like, we didn't win the shiny thing. How was that offsides? Burn it up. It's so ridiculous.
It is so true, but I think that in a way is what's great about how far we've come, that these are our problems. You know what I mean? Rather than waiting will I be able to vote? Will he beat me because I took my mask off and I'm a woman?
Right.
But in this country, you're right. It's like, even
I just
in Canada,
love that Michael Moore hyped Canada up like it was Mayberry. It's nice to see them just go a little nuts every once in a while and just burn it to the ground and be like, there you go, Michael, why don't you run around with your itchy beard in the middle of that, see what happens.
Sports talk in the morning.
Well, you know what they
Can't
found
be all
out?
hookers, Dave.
All right, I got it.
Trying to give something for everybody.
Let some of the rest of us in here. The daytime Emmys were
Well, what they found out, though, about this is it wasn't so much sports fans, but up in the Pacific Northwest, we got an anarchy problem.
No, really?
We do. I know.
I haven't heard anything about it.
If I see another chick wearing a flannel shirt with a shorter haircut than me, then I know.
That's right.
We all can't be river rafting guides in this town. I mean, honestly.
So what? They're revolting against the World Trade Organization and the G20 bank system.
Yeah. So what they do is they look for an event. All the anarchists now, what they do is they look for an event like would be a championship or whatever, and they try to make it look like the fans are upset. But what they do is they just start problems wherever there's big crowds, and it gets attributed usually to the crowd. So it turns out that it wasn't the hockey fans so much; these a-holes that think
that sounds like a statement written by the Canucks. They rioted after Game 7 when they lost in 1994.
Yeah.
This is what these people do. It's who they are, and I think it's time the U.S. went in there, brought some peacekeeping people there.
There you go.
Some Tim Thomas in there.
Oh, that's classic.
Gave them a democracy. Right?
Exactly.
Canada stinks. I'm saying it. I'm taking a big risk.
There you go.
That's my idea of being edgy. Boo for Canada.
Yeah.
Nah, all kidding aside, I apologize. I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, you got to apologize for everything. I mean, there was that guy on the Joe Scarborough Morning Joe show where the guy he thought that Obama was I'm going to say a D because I don't want to get thrown off the air because he's suspended indefinitely.
Yeah.
They told him. Do we have the audio of that? I want to play the audio of it because this poor bastard, he gets suspended indefinitely, and yet the two idiots told him to do it, said they had his back, and and now he's done.
Wait, did he say it on the air?
He did, but they told him they'd delay it. They even said, say it, we've got a delay, don't worry about it. So he tried not to say it. He actually was the only one with a brain in this. Do we have that audio? I'll let you hear it.
So wait, he expressed his opinion on how he felt the president was doing?
Yeah.
And he used the D?
Yeah.
D?
Yeah.
What?
Now I'll let you hear it.
What? Be careful what you say because we have a woman with a flip cam in here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, whose team is she
you
on,
never know
by the
when
way?
Maroon 5 might walk in and we want to capture the moment. You guys are like for the most technical town in the U.S., you guys are like 10 years behind.
Yeah.
Watch out for your Atari network. Go down here.
All right, I'll let you hear how it went down. I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed because the poor guy gets basically fired. He didn't do anything.
Mark Halperin, what was the president's strategy? We're coming up on a deadline, and the president decided to please his base. Is this sort of showmanship?
We're in the 7-second delay today.
Oh, Lordy.
No. I wanted to characterize how I thought the president behaved.
How do you think you
Well, we have it. We can use it, right, Alex?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Yeah.
Take a
Go
chance.
for it.
F.A.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Just you
Alex,
I'm behind you. You fall down. I'm going to catch you.
And the precedent has been set on that
Okay,
show,
sorry, go
so
ahead.
we're good.
I thought he was kind of a yesterday.
Oh,
my God. Delay that. Delay that. Did we delay that?
How phony are these idiots?
Yeah.
How do you not know that guy's a corporate shill? Like he's gonna that's the guy who's gonna have your back. You made an alliance with him 5 seconds before you said it.
He's suspended indefinitely, this Halperin guy, and he had to apologize twice already. And
it kind of sounded like I thought it was like a morning radio show. There is kind of a thing if you're on one of those self-important shows where people cross their legs and they have like gold-toed socks on. If you start saying stuff like that, the people they're gonna,
Yeah,
he was a dope though because I think he knew that he shouldn't say it. And you're right. You don't make an alliance with some guy who says, "Yeah, we got to delay." Just say he's a jerk. Don't say anything that can sink you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go for it. Get jazzy or whatever the hell that girl said. Right there, you know that they're not going to have your back.
Yeah, the Mika, whatever the hell her name.
Did they not delay it?
They didn't delay it, and then they threw the producer under the bus, going, "Oh, he said he didn't know where the button was." Jim, you work in radio. We all know where the button is.
Of course you do. You always have to have the button in eye line.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you tell everybody we need to push the button soon. You know, that's what they set it up at.
Yeah, they set him up. They set him up. He fell for it, though.
And he's suspended. I know, he fell. You're right. He is an idiot.
What does he do?
Suspended from what? Well, I'm really not following the story.
The Morning Joe.
What's going on
It's
here?
a pretty popular show on MSNBC.
Took over for Imus.
The Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough, and it's a TV show on MSNBC that runs in the morning. And so, it's got some popularity in the country. And so, Joe and the chick that he works with said, "Yeah, go ahead and say it to this Halperin guy."
Oh, okay.
I guess he's a political analyst for them.
Oh, he works for MSNBC?
Yeah, that's where this was from.
What a dope to think on that network you could say that about Obama and not have a problem.
That was surprising.
Yeah.
What a dope.
And not to mention those other two, they sounded like those cruise ship kind of comics. Not to blow up my spot, but I did a cruise one time, and I remember there was this guy Smiley kind of guy was telling me, yeah, you can go edgy. You can go edgy on the late night show, which is what I did, and next thing you know, that was the end of my cruise ship career, which is actually not a bad thing. I think you have to pick your battles. If you're going to do something like that, do it on a gig you don't care about.
But a late night show on a cruise ship is like, what, 4 o'clock? Like right after the buffet? We don't want you to interrupt with the, the tide, okay? So.
And the idea of edgy on a ship is a little different. Like, you can make fun of the plates on the Late Show.
Yeah, I had no idea. I was actually trashing the cruise ship line because, like, when they see the commercials on a cruise ship, they make it seem like they stop in each port for a couple of days, and it's really just a couple of hours. So you get off the ship and you're so panicking that you're going to miss the cruise ship. I bought like a hammock. It's like a souvenir. I wasn't even thinking. So I was just talking about that type of stuff, and the captain wrote a letter. Oh. It was horrific. Kind of like this story.
That's not a bad story.
The great thing about Seattle, which I played many times, excellent crowds, and the fun thing here is that you're so close to reasonably priced whale watching tours, which is great.
That's a good thing.
And there's a cruise from Seattle to Alaska, which is great. In fact, I think you and I were gonna get married on that cruise.
We were, yes.
Right, Jim?
Yes, they said we were against the law and against
God.
God.
The most cold, bleak cruise ever. That's the cruise where at the end when you go, by the way, it's going to get where I have to tell you, you're adopted. Bring a child with you.
Wait, Dave,
these whales out here, you're an unloved, weird oddity.
You know how mad people get when you're on a whale watching tour and you start throwing soda cans at the whales?
When you're reading Moby Dick and cursing them, saying the D word
without
the drop button. Look at me using all the radio terms.
You're such a nerd. I would go on a whale watch.
If you want to go on a whale watch, come to my room after the show and watch what I pick up. Fat chick.
There we go. Hold on. There you go. We got to give you that. That was awesome.
He explained it. A fat chick. Just in case you didn't get it.
Just in case people thought I was going to bring a real sea mammal.
It's early. It's possible.
Not a flannel. It's a comforter. A couple of sleeves sewed into it.
All right. I got to tell you, of course.
Fatties, half price tonight at the Paramount.
Paramount Theater tonight. We've got Jim Norton. We have got Dave Attell, Jim Brewer, and Bill Burr tonight, all on one stage for one price. There are some tickets still available, but you got to get them quick. Tickets.com, or you can, if you're lucky and you decide at the last minute, like, oh well, for whatever reason your schedule's so slammed, you can try to see if they got tickets at the door. They say they're going to offer them, but that's until they go. So check it out either way. Tickets.com or the Paramount Theater box office, and that is tonight. It's a hell of a show. These are, I'm telling you, I don't think you can see a better show in Seattle when you got 4 guys that could be doing their own shows, headlining all on one stage. That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, but we want to sell out. So this time we buddied up together. We basically circled the wagons. And why isn't Brewer here? That's a great question. We do 3 men on the radio, and then we have him hitting a lot of the local youth hostels, the bus station, to get the runaway crowd in. You know what I'm saying? A couple of kids are angry at their parents. Come on over here. Hey.
That's a great tour. We're actually acknowledging the recession. We're giving you 4 comics for the price of 1. There you go, Dave. You like that? You like that? There we go.
Me on the Hebrew on the tour. I love it.
That's right. 4 mediocre comics equals 1 mediocre price. Yeah. 1 mediocre product.
It's all about value. It's the value meal of comedy. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's been good, though. I mean, the tour so far has been great, so let's just hope that we don't suck tonight.
Well, I've said it before. I mean, there are guys that go out there and they do the same act over and over again.
Hey, I'm right here.
Sorry. Most of the guys go out there on this tour. But, I mean, I give you guys a lot of credit because, there are people that are just prolific in being able to always, come up with new material, and it's something that's enjoyable, and that's because you care about it as opposed to, it's Jimmy's Screen Door and Comedy Club Factory, and that's what we don't take those comics because people get pissed when they pay, and they go, what the hell night was this?
I don't know how anybody can do the same act for 3, 4, 5, or 6. It's just, how many years am I going to name in a row, though? I just said a long time. I was like 3, 4, 5, 6.
Jim, you're internal heckler.
But I caught myself naming years. I could have just said a bunch of years. But I realized 3 wasn't that bad, and I'm like, well, 4 isn't that bad either. I should have just said 10.
Then panic sets in. 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, anywhere up to 3 to 100. An ass.
No, I don't understand, honestly, how people expect the crowds are going to keep coming out if they saw you do it on TV and then they come out and see you live and you do it again. It's like, do you really think that they're going to come back? It's like, I saw you on TV. I see what you do.
Is it like is there any part of it that can be like a band where you kind of want to hear the greatest hits every once in a while and not just a new album? Or is it different in comedy as opposed to like music?
I think it's at the risk of boring everybody because jokes are kind of contingent on catching you off guard, whereas songs you don't need to catch somebody off guard. So
right.
How many times do you get caught off guard? It's like a political show. You can make the same political point 3 times in a row and it's fine, but you can't like if we all did the same joke, it would suck after the second.
Yeah, if they're already standing at the finish line of where the joke's going to be, and then you come running across, all sweaty. It doesn't work.
But so nobody gets pissed. Like for instance, if like a big band doesn't perform their big hit because they've gone, you know what, we're artists now. We don't do that song anymore. Yeah. Anybody get pissed if you don't do it? But I remember people used to get mad at Kinnison because you know what, he wouldn't be. The one about the sand. You live in a desert. People would get pissed because he wouldn't always do that particular bit when he would do the big concert shows.
Yeah, sometimes people want to hear stuff that you've done before, and you bring it out once in a while, but you just don't like to rely on it. It's nice to do it if you want to do it, not because you have nothing new to say. Like people demand my Amy Fisher bit, and I'll do it sometimes. Thank God that got a laugh.
Well, she's back in the news. She's on Celebrity Rehab.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, she really is. And
I love her. What a dirty girl.
It's a real clash of the Titans this time. Did you see?
Oh, yeah.
It's Bei Ling also.
Yeah,
right?
Gotta love her. She's in there. And you got Lindsay Lohan's father.
Sean Young.
Yeah, Sean Young. Yes. Boy, she's time has not been exactly
I think she's hot, man.
You still think she's got it going on?
I think she's great, yeah.
Her personality has got me thinking, you know what? It could be the drugs. It could be the alcohol.
I love a train wreck. I can't tell you.
All right.
I don't think she's ever been hotter than when Gene Hackman was throwing her through a glass table in No Way Out. Her sexiest moment.
All right, we've got these guys till the end of the show, and it's also time for Listeners on the Loose, which means I'm not answering any of your questions. You got questions, we're going to let these guys give you whatever answers they want. 206-421-ROCK, 800-783-ROCK, and ROCK is 7625. You can also text us at 77999. It's Listeners on the Loose, but the people answering your questions, Jim Norton, David Tell, Bill Burr, all part of the BJ Shea Second Annual Comedy Riot, the Anti-Social Network Tour, along with Jim Brewer, tonight at the Paramount. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. And today, because of the BJ Shea Comedy Riot tonight at the Paramount Theater with Jim Norton, David Tell, Bill Burr, Jim Brewer, all on one stage. Tickets.com, or you can get them at the door at the box office. But I wouldn't wait for that, man, because this show is just, there aren't that many tickets left. You got to go check it out. We've been waiting for this for so long. And don't forget, meet and greet after the show, which is what I love that you guys do. People, if they want to come up and say hi, they can do it after the show.
Yeah, it's usually a lot of men who are overweight, which we like, because it really sucks. I have struck out horribly. I haven't gotten laid once on the tour. It's depressing.
Really?
Depressing, yeah.
How long have you been on the tour for?
We've done a bunch of big shows. We've done like 6 shows, but like large shows. Nothing. I
would think by now, with your reputation, there would be a particular kind of person that would be like, Jim, you're my guy.
There is prostitutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
Show up to the show with a tarp.
So they don't actually. So they're not in the show. They're just waiting outside the show.
Yeah, exactly. They know I'm coming. I hope some. I have this weird thing I've gotten into. Like I kind of like chicks that don't wear deodorant. I've gotten into this weird
Euro.
Yeah, kind of Euro. I like this dirty.
Does that include the hair too? Are you into that?
You know what? I've had dominatrixes that didn't shave under their arms, and it was okay for me. I don't know if I could date it. Legs have to be shaved.
Date it.
Yeah. But I mean, I probably should rephrase that. I don't know if I could date a gal that's that disgusting all the time.
A full shave or just up to the knee? What do you like?
Yeah, I like the feet to be hairy. No, I like that, but I've started to like under the arms to kind of, at least no deodorant. Hair, I'd kind of prefer it shaved but sweaty. I really do like that.
The dominatrixes, when they show up, did they already tell you that they had hair under their armpits? Is it like that part of like their laundry list of things that they can offer you? Or?
Some will. The one I'm thinking of did not.
That'd be a weird surprise.
Yeah, but you kind of expect it from them.
Yeah, is that part of the experience? Huh? You didn't expect that. And
yeah.
Rub their armpit in your face and call you a little piggy.
Yeah, little piggy. Yeah. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah. Utter humiliation.
Well, that is true. And Jim Norton.
Wait, real quick. So
yes,
when you saw you saw the old video, that 99 Luft balloons. Remember that?
Yeah.
Bam.
Nina.
She put her hand up with the armpit hair. Is that the first time you realized that you liked a little Sasquatch action going on? Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I just love the song so much.
Everybody thought she was hot at school, and then the second she raised her hand up, it was like, it was horrific.
I would have to see that again. There can be something sexy about it. There's something if the girl is attractive. If the girl's not attractive, she's disgusting.
But this does bring up a thing, because I'm old enough to be the generation where Brazilian waxes were not the thing. And whenever you got to see a Playboy or any kind of magazine at all, they never really got to show you really the gynecological position.
Oh, yeah.
If you saw hair, that was like a score, because you never saw that in full frontal nudity.
Right.
Where do you guys stand on that? Because you know what? Steve's Steve's generation and anybody in their 20s, they look at you like if you've got any hair anywhere near that area, you are like, you know what, you're like lepers. Get away from me. No one should ever have sex with you.
None. You never want to hear the... No one. I never want to make that sound in bed again. All of it
because it's
gone.
coming back. It's coming back.
I don't. I want to.
Good.
She has
I'm
cancer.
glad it's coming back.
No.
Completely gone. You feel like a pedophile. It's like, oh, it's disgusting.
No. It's not. It's not about that.
Nice little landing strip. Keep it neat. I'm not saying you know what I mean.
I like gone.
Don't bring down the property value of everyone else around you. Let's try to keep everything trimmed down there. That's not what I'm talking about. But like to have it completely just gone is it gets a little. That's a little much for me.
I want her to look like she's from 500 years in the future. I look like some kind of a creature that has landed. Nothing. I like completely gone.
Oh, you want Area 51 action is what you want.
But under the armpits. If you want 1978.
A little retro under the pits. But I'm telling you, because I like to see the body. I like to see it. Like the things that women hate about themselves, I like. I like, let's just say I like the whole thing to be pronounced and ugly. I really do.
A level playing field.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So you're saying that this new procedure, the labiaplasty, you don't want your girl to do?
No. I want it to look like bubblegum that an IED has gone off under.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah. I had to figure that out for half a second.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? Sex change?
Labiaplasty is when a woman has too much going on, when they trim it up.
You ever notice it's like they call it, like they used to say it looked like
the M80 look.
Yeah, exactly.
The M80.
And Jim is saying he's all about, make it look as though there was just a war down there.
Yeah.
A war zone.
Yeah, I want her to apologize.
Scientists are there to see, did this like crater wipe out the dinosaurs?
Exactly. Exactly. A nice La Brea tar pit.
Like a bag of trail mix exploded in a beef factory. I don't know what that means. Sorry.
Anti-social network tour, everybody.
That's your visual of the day, ladies and gentlemen. That was awesome.
Do you know how much I've talked about that for years and how many women have contacted me about that because they like that some guy likes that? Like a lot of guys are like, no, I want the whole thing to be neat. No, I like it to be...
I'll tell you, again, not that I'm an Eastern Indian expert, but that was that they compared it to a lotus flower, and if you know what a lotus flower's got a lot going on.
Way.
That's what in India they go for that.
Yeah, the rose.
I've never seen a lotus flower squirt.
Yeah, they used to call it the rose.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about like.
Go for that? What do you just want? The Homer Simpson? What do you want, Dave?
Me?
Yeah.
I like it shaved in the middle, but wild on the sides. I like when a girl wears a thong. It really makes a statement. Really.
You want the Larry Fine look?
Yeah, exactly.
The Larry Fine look. Jim, that's what I love about you. You bring back I love because who's doing Three Stooges references anymore? They need to be brought back. I love that.
They certainly do.
Hey, Mo, here's my look. I love that.
I do love it, man. It's like women are embarrassed by that, and they shouldn't be. I like it.
And I don't know who started that. But I think like Steve is repulsed.
Look of intensity on your face, Jim.
Seriously love it.
But Steve, you were repulsed by what Jim's talking about,
by
as well
forest,
as
absolutely.
And the forest, and also
the landing strip is what I was first introduced to, so I'm okay with that. But
it's
like I remember when I was a kid looking at the Hustler magazines, and when you would come across that page where the girl was because they're from the '70s because we were stealing from my dad or our dad's friends and stuff, and I did not like that one bit.
Would you really steal him from your dad's friend, or would he just kind of sit you on his lap and show you?
You got me. I tried to block that part out.
Here's how you
Let's move the conversation down.
Story.
Now, what do you think of the taint? I mean, it's kind of like it's the elephant in the room, if you know what I mean. No one ever really brings it up.
I would have to. That is the odd place where you really don't want to have a whole lot going on.
Yeah, no one ever gets their taint bleached. Like I want it to look like basically I'm ready for a puppet show. Nobody does that.
But there is that. I mean, but there is women are bleaching an area close to that area.
This guy has the most beautiful girlish laugh. A 200-pound man.
Yeah, and his voice doesn't even match that laugh.
It doesn't. Yes.
And by the way, that bleaching you're talking about makes me angry. Angry. I hate it bleached.
Jim.
I know what you mean too. I don't like it. I like it natural and dark.
Will that cause you to stop mid-act, Jim?
No.
You got to be.
No, but I like.
Lady, get your stuff and get out.
No.
All natural here. Bad enough you trimmed up a little bit, and now this. What is that, a marble? Get out.
What is that, a marble?
No, I want it to look. I want it to look like you need to hose it off, but you don't. That's what I like. Like, oh my God, there's a problem going on. Oh, there's not. That's just you. I like that. I really like that.
That's just you.
Yeah, Jimmy likes a barn find. For all you car guys out there. Sorry.
Oh man, well,
A barn.
And Jim, do you find that no matter what you say about how much you appreciate the body they think is miserable, does it help that you're actually giving them compliments, or they feel even worse?
No, they like it deep down because
Like they speak English. That is hilarious.
yeah, I just point at. I go, por favor. And then, we exchange reals. And
he puts a fruit salad around his package. He's like, get to the picking. Come on. That's right. It's strawberry season. Get to work.
Oh my God.
We've got I'm telling you, you don't go to the show tonight. Then you know what? That's the only show you got to go.
I think we needed Jim Brewer in here to offset with the family values here. Jim's working totally clean. Working totally clean.
He is.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Destroying.
He's
Absolutely
destroying. Brewer.
So there's something there for everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's and look. If you really, I'm
If you
telling
want taints or if you want clean humor, you get it all.
Either way, yeah.
Well, it's great comedy. That's the idea. You'll see the difference. If you've been to a bad comedy show, you're going to see the difference when you go here and see four comics that really, the best in the business, all on one stage. And that's tonight, the BJ Shea second annual Comedy Riot, the Antisocial Network Tour. Jim Norton, David Tell, Jim Brewer, and Bill Burr. Paramount Theater, tickets.com, and the Paramount Theater box office. And let me go to a call. We got Justin over here. And again, Jim and Dave and Bill are answering your calls today. So, Justin and Puyallup, you're on the rock. What do you got?
Hey, BJ, what's going on?
You are, brother. What you got?
Oh, man, I was just calling in to tell you about my trip to London last weekend.
Oh, are you the dude?
College 40.
Are you the guy that won the tickets from us?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, me and my wife were actually in studio with you the day before we got married, back on the 6th of May.
Yeah, and you guys were going, was it kind of, well, I don't know if it was a honeymoon or not, but so you won tickets, you went to the Hard Rock Cafe in London, and what did you do? Did you see a show? What you get to do?
Oh, man, it was incredible. They had The Killers, Rod Stewart, Bon Jovi.
Rod Stewart, wow, he's a tough ticket to come by these days.
Oh, yeah.
That's a bizarre, The Killers are a good band, and then you got Bon Jovi. That's an odd bill.
Did Rod Stewart do Singing in the Rain? Did that bring down the house?
Yeah, any 50 songs?
You got to love that he's acting his age, though.
What a great honeymoon, though. London.
Oh, it was incredible, dude. They flew us over a 5-star hotel.
Oh, really? How was the weather? Bleak?
Yeah, did you actually see
Don't make me laugh.
Did you and your wife make love and go look out the window at that gray, dreary landscape? We go, this is what it's about forever now. Just sadness.
Dude, it was actually like 90 degrees there the entire time we were there. It was crazy.
Oh.
You know what, though? Yeah. But Dave,
much of sweaty.
How about that? How about that breakfast in the morning? Kippers,
bangers and mash,
bangers and mash.
Yeah, they actually had it laid out for us in a little banquet hall for everyone all the winners to come and have breakfast.
Yeah, but Dave,
he's coming from Seattle.
Yeah.
It rains here every day.
He's such a nice guy. He's like gets in a car accident. Well, at least we're parked. You know, hey,
it's a great way to meet people.
And you know, you can't. And Dave, you can't argue with how warm they are over there in London. You can't, Dave. They're so warm and welcoming over there.
Not when you look like a Mideastern terrorist. They're not. I've been stopped at that airport like 7 times. Heathrow. Have you been there?
I have not been to Heathrow, but I'm not surprised you get stopped there.
By the way, if you're into you like smells,
yes,
Heathrow.
I do.
Okay, that stinks. It really is bad because like everybody from Europe meets there to burn the deodorant. There's no. I think cologne. Like they found cologne on the guy. They kicked him right out.
Well, Justin, thanks for calling. I'm glad you had a good time. It is funny though because I mean don't they hate everybody in England because everybody's a country that they think is worse than them, or they hate everybody that broke away from them because they used to own everybody. They hate India, they hate us, they hate everybody over there, and they just seem.
And we kind of plagiarized their foreign policy. Now we have like an empire, so I think that's why they bug us. Then they get to point at us and act like. They were innocent or something, I don't really.
Yeah, forgetting they've colonized the planet for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at you guys.
I created the caste system in India. What else did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but that William and Kate wedding, I give that 3 Tony Awards. That was so.
Attaboy, Dave. You're right, too.
It was great.
It really was nice to see everybody kind of get together and just enjoy those.
And
I love royal
ride. Who doesn't love that?
The inbred faces on all royal families because no one's good enough for them. So you got to be with the third cousin for centuries.
Yes.
That's it. The same thing with the Kennedys. They all have like that look, those weird looking teeth.
I love that when Maria Shriver first found out that Arnold basically cheated on her.
What? Yeah. I didn't hear this.
Yeah. I love, though, she went and consulted Ted because he was an expert on how to handle it. He's the one that told her how to handle it and told her to shut up for 10 years because she knew a long time ago. But Ted, of course, because he's an excellent driver, he told her, here's how you handle it. Because it would be an embarrassment to the Kennedy family. And I'm going, you're going to the embarrassment.
Wait, so they're saying she knew for 10 years.
She knew for a long time.
So why now? Why now did she finally...
Because he said, wait till he gets out of office. Then you can live your life. And because she wanted to leave him then, but Ted was like, you got to wait.
But did she know the woman that he was sleeping with the bassist from Van Halen?
she thought it was from
Twisted.
I was saying that she looked like Gene Simmons.
The maid?
Yeah.
She's absolutely atrocious.
I thought it was more like Dee Snider. I mean, everybody's got an ugly rock.
Where the wild things are. If you shaved one of those beasts, got the exact same head. Not saying I'm a looker. I'm just saying.
He actually met her on the set of Total Recall when she was going through the airport. Her head was falling off.
I love that relate to Jim. That's awesome.
Talking about going pigging.
Oh, that's classic. Now, this may be news to you guys because this just came out today. But you know about this guy who was the former International Money Fund chief, Dominic Strauss-Kahn.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's been accused of raping a hotel maid. They're saying now his case could be on the verge of collapse.
Yes.
The New York Times just put this out saying that they got law enforcement officials saying that there's just too much unambiguous, whatever the hell that means, unambiguous. I would think ambiguous would be the right word. But this says it's unambiguous evidence, which means then they've got the evidence. Why would they cancel the case?
Well, that's like when people use the word infamous. They don't understand it means famous for a bad reason. They're like, this infamous comedian. It's like, no, people kind of love him. He's selling out theaters.
Yeah, exactly.
He's famous.
Well, I think it really just states we need more male maids. Am I right or what? Honestly, somebody can put up a fight.
Now, I know we got Club Soda Kenny in here who's a former cop, but...
Yes, and a rapist.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
He's on the other team.
Well, it's nice to have balance in your life.
Yeah, of course.
Well, but I saw a stat like about 5 years ago, Manhattan released a stat saying that 50% of the rape claims are false.
Yes.
Which is, I mean, so you see this stuff, and it appears to me now, if you are anybody and you have sex with somebody who is not, you don't know, that they're just doing it to get your money and ruin your life. It seems like that's what's going on. This woman just wants, I guess,
yeah, but is that groundbreaking for you as a guy? This is what you're saying sounds what I've said to women for a long time. Like when I don't know, like when they just automatically believe that the guy did it and that there's no sort of ulterior motive when someone has a ton of money. I basically just wanted to say what you were saying.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, move back to Mexico, all right? Yeah. We do things around here.
Well, plus, Devil's Advocate, he was staying in the Sofitel, so $3,000 a night. It's like, when you take it out, someone should almost be obligated.
It's part of the room service.
To at least spit on it.
I just like how he was the head of something that I didn't even know really existed. What is that? Like what is that anyhow?
International Monetary Fund.
That's like being the president of like the UN. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, unless aliens land or something, really, you have no job. Honestly, no army. You have no power.
It is. You're
Especially now, no one listens.
You're right. I never heard of what this is, but it scares me because it's got the word money in it, which makes me think that this guy's probably a guy who's screwing us somehow. Someone's getting screwed by this guy.
You know how he got caught? He left his cell phone in the room, and he actually called back, and he goes, I left my phone. And he was getting ready to board an Air France flight, and the security guard goes, well, where are you? He said, JFK, and that's how they come and got him. This dummy would have made it to France, but he called from the airport to get his phone.
It is tough to replace a phone, though.
It really is.
It really is, yeah.
I mean, it's
if he's locked into a contract.
I think, wouldn't you rather
That really
just
is the
hand over-
Berkowitz moment, isn't it? Parking
really
ticket brings you down.
Yeah. He's probably like, it was an iPhone. I could have got one in France at De Gaulle Airport.
Well, he's French.
An unlocked one.
206-421-ROCK, 800-783-ROCK. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. But today, answering your calls, Jim Norton, Dave Attell, Bill Burr, along, by the way, with Jim Brewer tonight at the BJ Shea Second Annual Comedy Riot, the Antisocial Network. And tickets are still available, but you get them because they're pretty much almost gone. Tickets.com. And you can try. I don't recommend it, but you can do it. Try to walk up at the door if they got some left. But you want good seats, get them now.
Walk up.
Walk up. All right. All right, let's go to, I think we'll take David. David in Tacoma, you're on the Rock. What do you got for the guys?
Tacoma.
Hey, I wanted to thank Dave Attell for coming out to Afghanistan when I was there.
Nice. Oh, dude, what's up,
we
man?
had a blast when he came out, and he was touring around with Anna Kournikova.
Yes.
Jeez, that's a nice deal.
That was also very nice while we were over there.
How did that brighten the day? I'm sure a couple of my midget jokes were okay, but seeing Anna Kournikova.
Wow.
By the way, how hot was she, even in, like, the desert? She looked amazing. Am I right?
Oh, she was we got to see in Bagram. She was wearing a big old coat, but at Bagram, there was me and a whole bunch of EOD guys that took a bunch of photos with all you guys afterwards. And in the photo, you can see there's two of us extremely happy, and she's a little peeved because you were grabbing her butt in the picture.
I was not. Either way.
I was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You were looking for explosives. Is that it? You got to explain to all these pansies what an EUD guy is.
EOD, I'm not an EOD guy. I just worked with them. I'm actually a broadcaster for the military.
Okay.
I'm a combat correspondent.
Adrian
and
Cronin.
EOD is explosive ordnance disposal. They go out and they go play with the explosives alongside the road. And,
The Hurt Logger.
They blow up bombs.
Yeah, they were so cool to us, and that was a great tour. It was me, Anna Kournikova, and Billy Ray Cyrus, and that was like one of those things where, like,
that's
a weird,
Who
closed? Who didn't belong on that tour? Me, you know. So, but it was a good time, and we got to see a lot of the troops, and it's just an amazing.
How was
situation.
it? Because I've talked to some guys that have gone over there. Were you in the green zone and you were okay?
The green zone's in Iraq.
Oh, where were you? I thought he said Iraq.
Afghanistan is 10 years away from a green zone, basically.
Jeez, that's even worse. Yeah, you
exactly.
were Afghanistan. How was that then?
Afghanistan is so, like, these guys are so up against it, by the way, because these people are, like, born and bred to fight. Okay, honestly, it's like you think of, like, the Bloods and the Crips. All right, but take that like 3 centuries back, and that's what they've been doing. And it's a crazy situation. They're really in an amazingly weird position. And the thing about it is that, like, they are making progress, but it's just incredibly difficult to bring people from, like, the 1800s to, like, that's how they're living there, basically. Honestly, if you show up there with, like, I don't know, like a ShamWow and a clapper, you could, like, run the place. Honestly, they're like magic, But I welcome home, dude, and thanks for seeing that show. That's definitely. Jim's done some of these tours, and we did on one of our tours. We had, like, some of the troops come see us in D.C., so that was really cool. Some of the Wounded Warriors. So
very
that was
cool.
Like the highlight, if you ask me.
We're going to have more with Jim Norton, Bill Burr, and Dave Attell again, of course, at the Paramount Theater tonight. Listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. And it's a special edition. Jim Norton, Dave Attell, and Bill Burr in studio. They, along with Jim Brewer, all of them on stage tonight at the BJ Shea second annual Comedy Riot and their antisocial comedy tour. This is, again, thanks to you guys for making this happen so that we could have our Comedy Riot coincide with what you guys are doing, because I couldn't think of 4 guys I'd like to have on the same stage.
Thanks,
That's
man.
awesome.
You know what this is like? It's like Extreme Makeover. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody's emotional. You ever see that moment, like, where it's like, where they give, like, the Crack family a house? Like, oh, a house! I'm going to be smoking crack in there. What
we're trying to say is we're happy to be here.
Yeah.
We are. Thank you for having us.
But I appreciate that. You're right, Dave, though. I hate all those shows because there's a reason why a lot of those people don't have a house and are in a miserable situation with their family. It's because they probably, like that Ted Williams radio guy, who I hated from the beginning. I hated him from the beginning. Because a lot of us in our business busted our ass in order to try to get where we are. We didn't drink and drug our lives away. That's why we're not on the side of the street. Where's my second chance? Hey, Cleveland Cavaliers, let me be your goddamn announcer. I actually have been in the business and haven't pissed anybody off and haven't punched my sister.
Where is he, in rehab now?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, what a mess.
Did you hear the macaroni commercial, though? I mean, that awesome. Guy was terrific. Back to being a bum.
Yeah. I thought he was replacing Katie Couric on CBS News. Wouldn't that be great if he got bumped up?
Now, actually, I'll tell you right now, that would be a genius move, even for only a couple of weeks. Like some radio stations, Jim, you know this. They'll do something really stupid till they change format to something else anyway. Why not have a revolving door of just whack jobs, fill her seat until you get whoever the idiot is?
I like it.
They couldn't do any worse.
I would definitely watch.
I know, because I don't care about that. Does anybody watch those, like the evening news on anyone? I don't know who they are.
Huffington Post, Drudge Report. It's all online now. I could care less which one of those dopes is reading it. I like Brian Williams, although his face is kind of like put together incorrectly. He's offset. He's very uncomfortable till he looks like he's morphing into something. But he's actually he seems like he's the one with integrity.
Yeah. Well,
that's nice, Jimmy. Pulled it up at the last second.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
looks
do like him. It's visually unpleasant, but I mean, a man.
It was like
That could be on his
Transformers.
billboard.
A man of great taste and inspiration, but just.
That's a backhanded
I feel like I was
compliment.
trapped in a mine for 3 weeks. I don't know who any of these people are. Ted Williams, any of these guys.
Oh, you don't know that homeless guy that he was a sensation because some radio station in Ohio basically put him on their air because he was homeless, but he said, I used to be a radio guy.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the country loved him, and Kraft said, you can be our new spokesperson. He was on the Today Show.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Didn't he have like a good singing voice? Is that the guy?
Speaking voice.
Speaking voice.
Radio.
Oh,
I never should
yeah.
have sent him that bottle of Hennessy. That was a mistake. Welcome aboard.
The most tragic moment, because I was his mother. They finally reunited with his mother. I don't think she even knew he was alive.
Yeah.
And this poor woman is
90.
probably 80, 90 years old. And she goes,
What'd you do with your life? I lived in a trash can. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, Oscar the announcer.
It was really, really creepy. Do we have that audio, by the way, Toppy, of him? With
Who tries
mommy?
heroin? I mean, how many... Does it ever work out good? I just don't understand people. I can see doing it. I can understand it back in the day when you were just like, hey, man, this feels really good, but... I don't know. I was that guy like when the drug person came to the school and told a couple of stories and was like, if I could just reach one kid. I was that kid. I was just like, yeah, I'm all right.
I was the
I'm
same
just
guy.
sticking
You're right.
with the booze.
Yeah.
And the anabolic steroids.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I think they should just show train spotting in every school. Because, I mean, literally, I mean, the moment when you see that your kid's dead in the crib, you have no clue. At that point, you go, all right, this isn't a drug for me.
But kids will focus on like seeping into the rug. That moment in the movie where you just kind of...
Or they'll go, what the hell is Obi-Wan Kenobi doing with a needle? They might not even have a clue. You know, Ewan McGregor's best work, actually.
I just blame Mark Twain for everything, all right?
That's a good thing.
There you go, right?
He can't defend
The
himself.
N-word, everything else.
Hey, can I tell you this Casey Anthony? If any, she's like this close.
Now, for folks that don't know, because we haven't covered it a
Maxim.
whole lot, so let people know about the crazy woman that killed her kid.
She
allegedly.
We think she killed her kid. She's on trial. That's a huge trial, Casey Anthony. The baby was missing for 30 days. And it really is like this close for me not wanting to sleep with her. I mean, one more bad fact about this woman comes out. She is a good egg. She's lovely.
She's really hot.
What a delight.
I don't know how that happened. I have 2 kids, and granted, I have been at my wit's end with them, but what makes you turn the corner that you go, you know what, it's time for me to kill you?
What makes you not?
Hey, that's not true.
Well, I mean, maybe she's an environmentalist. She took a look at the population problem.
Oh, I
I'm just
see.
trying to put together a defense for her.
There you go.
You know,
You'll be better than her team.
Whales are dying. Well, they got it on cover of People magazine. They think she's going to get off, and I think they're just trying to sell magazines.
She will not.
That's what I
she
think.
won't get murder one though. I tell you, they don't know time of death or anything. Anthony from Opie and Anthony's obsessed. Go on Twitter and read it. He's just inciting all the fat ladies who are obsessed by defending her. He's going, "Oh, come on, she's pretty. She lost a child." People are going ballistic. Yeah.
She lost a child.
Oh yeah, he's defending her vehemently.
She is pretty
on
damn
Twitter.
hot.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a great picture of her right with the American flag around her, and that's it.
It's super sexy.
Yeah, Independence Day, baby.
Yeah, she's a very sexy girl.
Nah, she needs
But is
to
that
go.
is that how
If
you?
she did what they're saying she did, she needs to go. We shouldn't have to pay for it. You got a rabid dog in the neighborhood. You put it
They
down.
don't do that.
No.
But that's the trouble, though, Bill, is that the
Hang 'em high.
the appeal system costs more than just keeping them in jail for life. It sucks. I don't know. That's why the death penalty, to me, is useless in this country, because you never really can kill anybody. We've got people that are killing guards and killing other inmates. And I think, look, if he's in jail for murder and he's killing people in jail, why don't you just kill him? What's the point?
He's certainly not learning his lesson.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Helping with the jail population.
I think we should make her live.
No, I think if you do something to a kid, that's it. You're out.
Yeah.
Game over.
Well, it depends if it was a good kid or not. I mean, take a poll. Ask people who knew the kid.
Where was she when John and Kate plus 8 was popular? Now that would have been a show.
John and Kate plus 6.
Yeah.
Plus 5. You get it?
It's like a reality show. Someone's going home. Someone's going home in a box this week.
The game Clue with cleavage.
I'll tell you right now, though, it is bizarre that we can let, even though the Octomom now says she hates her kids.
No, really?
Yeah. How do we let? That's I know we're
She
a free
loved those
country,
kids.
and I know that we protect children. But how do we let that ridiculousness happen?
I think
she's not
that's
running
a
for
very
president.
natural emotion. I would think anything more than triplets. Like, I don't think you're not human if you don't hate them at that point.
Yeah.
Just an absolute, you could fill up the bleachers with your babies. They're just sitting there crying and defecating on themselves. At some point, you're gonna hate them.
But you got 6 kids, and
Michelle
a couple
Bachmann,
of them.
she has like 35 kids, so 6 kids is like 1 kid compared to her. Do you know that, right?
I guess if you can do it, if it's like Walton's Mountain and they all can make it happen, even like you said, the like whatever this 18+ family, whatever, they somehow look like they're making it happen. You don't read horrible stuff about them; they're making it happen. But she was single. She had 6 kids, 2 of them special needs, and at that point, doesn't somebody go, "Wait a minute, you want 8 more? Oh, what the hell?"
Well, the thing is, too, you mentioned Walton Mountain. I mean, of all the people to burn the house down, why the grandfather? It's been bothering me since the day I saw it.
Since the 70s.
Yeah. If I was in that situation, there's no way I could handle it. I'm too self-centered. I would just make a big vat of mashed potatoes every morning and just start throwing it at them, and then I'd walk out the door.
You'd be nice to the first 3 kids, 4 through 8, right in the tub.
Oh, that's it. I don't need one of you to become a doctor, and I put my money on these 3.
I'm more Romanian about it. Throw a sausage in the crib. Whoever wins the battle. Chechchu, whatever his name was.
Well, if it was like India, you just sell half of them to get some cash.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
There's something to be said
you
for that.
shave their heads and you make weeds.
It always leads back to Angelina Jolie.
It surely does. And she's got the cash to buy them all.
Exactly. Well, all these, everybody wants to adopt a child nowadays, but there's like a vigorous thing to do it. And you have to do all this paperwork and all that kind of stuff, which is not how I think in everyone's mind they think it is. Because a friend of mine just adopted a child. Basically like a Marine Corps fitness challenge or something like that. And I think it's better to just go over there, and just go see a circus and whichever kid lagged behind after they move on, go hey, want to live in a place where we have malls, and then sneak them on your carry-on luggage. That's the way I see it. Can I take up more time?
Jim Norton, David Tell, and Bill Burr all joining Jim Brewer tonight at the BJ Shea Second Annual Comedy Riot. Tickets at tickets.com. Paramount Theater box office. It's tonight. You don't want to miss this show. Let's go to Joe in Shelton. Joe, you're on the rock with the guys. Go ahead.
Hey, BJ. Hey, as soon as you said these guys were coming to town, I bought tickets.
Yes.
Nice. Thank you.
What,
do it.
And, hey, I got to say, Jim, my question is for Bill, but, Jim, I've read your book. You need some serious medication.
Wow.
Oh, sir, don't be I take medication. It's called Cialis.
Hey, Dave, it's no joke. I've been to Afghanistan. I used to be in the Army. There is nowhere safe over there yet. It is not even safe.
Exactly.
But anyway,
Stay safe again.
Bill,
yeah, no.
in regards to one of your old routines, I'd like to know, is your girl still holding the See You Next Tuesday hostage? Because I know mine is. What do you recommend?
She was never holding it hostage. Are you sure it was me that you were watching?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you maybe superimposed your problem onto my act. But what is the thing? You know what? I bet you've dropped your game as far as initiating. At this point, when you first get with your girl, you're hugging her, you're kissing her, you build her up, you get the engine going. And then after a while, you're probably just bending her over the nearest piece of furniture and wondering why she's not responding. So, take her out to dinner. Show her that you care. Stop treating her like a blow-up doll, and I think your problems will be solved.
That's awesome.
I don't mean to interrupt, but dude, you're the audience that we've been looking for on the whole tour. Oh, he's good. Whoa. Okay. He ran out of his anytime minutes. But no, if he's listening and you come to the show, we're definitely giving you a free T-shirt, if not a reach around. We're definitely, because this guy is great. He's a reader. He's a twisted vet, and he knows Bill's material. We've been looking for comedy fans who bring it, and this guy is it. So thank you, man. Thanks for coming.
Oh man, David Tell, Jim Norton, Bill Burr, and of course Jim Brewer tonight at the BJ Shea Second Annual Comedy Riot, the Antisocial Network Tour, and it's at the Paramount. You got to see the show. Tickets.com, or just if you want, try to walk up tonight. You get them at the box office. You can do that. Charlie in Port Orchard, you're on the rock. Go ahead.
Hey!
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 So, before I ask my question, I just want to say Port Orchard and Everett, in the time it took to wait. but my question's for Dave.
What the hell did that mean?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, he
man.
drove that far?
He's crying about how
Are you
long
crying
he's
that I
been
put... Goodbye. Goodbye, Charlie.
Why was he crying?
Why would you start off bitching?
People that complain about having to wait on the phone because other people are on the phone ahead of them, I have no tolerance for.
Well, the scary thing, I don't know if you heard what I heard, but there's like planes taking off and whatever. He's like definitely like flagging it. I think he works like baggage handling, something like that.
I like how he just cooked his brain for no reason on his cell phone for like, I just want to let you know.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate you having a hit radio show with a bunch of listeners calling in. Call in the AM radio. You can walk out to your mailbox you'll get on.
This is not your aunt's phone number.
All right, Ron in Renton. I do hope you took some advice from that last caller and just get right to what you want
Portland
to
to
say.
Seattle, just saying.
Yeah. Hey, Ron.
Just to plug his damn phone in.
Hey, what's wrong? All right.
Hey, I just want to say hi, Jim, Dave,
Hi.
Bill, and the Jim that's missing. But I have a joke for you guys.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good. Nothing makes us
This is
happier than when an audience member tells us a joke.
Hold on, let me get my tablet out. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I like how Dave actually did it on his hand. Well, we are videoing it. So
I'm sorry, guys.
That was
Okay.
awesome.
that was
Basic cable background.
All right, let's hear the joke.
Okay, why did the chicken not cross the road?
Why, sir?
Because he saw what happened to the possum. Splat!
I didn't
And you
do
can
what.
include a frog on that.
We missed the
What
punchline.
did you say, brother? Your phone crapped out.
Oh, because he saw what happened.
We
to the
heard
possum.
you.
You know what I like? I like good, clean, wholesome comedy.
Yeah.
I like the kind of joke I can tell at a Cracker Barrel, and we found it right there.
All right.
If they ever need a warm-up guy for so you think you're smarter than a fifth grader, we've got you. This is it.
All right.
It's great.
Now, guys,
Look, great timing.
yeah, look, here's the thing. He is an aspiring comic, and he asked us if he could do some material in front of you.
Sure.
Well,
And this is Nick, by the way.
Mono
And-
Nick right over
Hi,
there.
Nick.
How's it going,
And,
guys? How you doing?
you know, like you said, Jim, who loves this more than anybody? Nobody.
Yeah.
But
I like how if you didn't get the punchline, he actually explained it with the splat.
Of course.
That was my favorite part. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
But
I hate when a guy brings his weekend dad jokes
Yeah.
to the show. You know, like his one day with the kids. Hey, I'm a fun dad. Why did the chicken not...
It does, you know, it does. It gets me a little angry because people will say the same thing to us. They'll be like, "Oh, you guys just talk, right? There's nothing that goes into that." You know, and you just go, "Really? Honestly,
Yeah.
you think that you knucklehead can come out here and really do this job like with you guys? Like, you know, all the crap you have to go through to pretty much get where you guys are." And these guys go, "Oh, what do? You do nothing, right?"
We should really call this tour the 110% tour. Am I right or wrong, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, we
Absolutely.
really leave it all on the stage.
Well, the sad thing is that guy already has to deal with Comedy Central. So I really think that's bragging calling in after the deal.
Oh God, that would be, man. There's some truth in that.
So you're a comic, Nick?
He wants to be.
Okay.
Aspiring, yes.
Have you ever done stand-up on stage?
I have not.
Okay.
Okay, well, you're not going to wear those shorts up there, are you?
No.
Honestly.
All right, cool.
I could, though.
It's not about...
Do you guys remember? I don't know if you saw, but back in the day, Goldthwait used to go up with shorts like that.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
That was
That was weird.
I remember that. That was some disturbing stuff.
That guy
in
loves
weird
tab,
mode.
doesn't he?
I love calves. Man's calves. Go
All
ahead,
right, so Nick, you want to just do a couple, okay?
Okay. I got a couple here.
Because I'm embarrassed, but I mean, I don't want to crush.
Give him
your
a
dreams.
shot. Come on, BJ.
I know. I mean,
Let's not crush his dream here.
Rule of three. Let's hear him.
All right. So you guys hear that Transformers is in theaters this weekend?
Yeah.
I saw some advertising for that yesterday.
Well, in a recent interview, Shia LaBeouf said that he and his former Transformers co-star Megan Fox shared a mutual attraction. It turned out that they were both attracted to bad scripts.
I like it.
But you know what? You're doing like
Thanks, Dave.
monologue jokes. Do a Jay Leno.
On the way
what
to
you're
the
doing.
radio, Jim Shia LaBeoufed in the van. It was horrible. We
One
had
of
to
my
open a window.
finest moments. I was like, close the window. I'm going to catch my death
Gotta get
outside.
some wet wipes.
You
That would
guys
actually
remember
work.
MySpace?
I think you should write for a late night show. Hey, did you
thank
guys see that Transformers is in the news?
Don't kill his dream, Bill. Come on. Yes, go ahead.
You got another one, Nick?
Yeah. You guys remember that? You guys remember MySpace?
Yes.
Well, it was
What's up
sold
with
for
that?
$35 million to a digital media company. To get the word out as quickly as possible, the CEO of MySpace posted the news on Facebook.
All right, that wasn't
Okay,
bad.
I would
like that one.
recommend not.
Technology. That's good.
I kind of saw it coming, but it was still a good joke.
Do you think it's the dramatic pause right before he says?
Yeah,
And
because you
then he
kind of
posted it on. Facebook.
Yeah.
He's actually gonna post it on Facebook.
I thought it was good.
Make it more conversational.
Yeah.
Like you're drinking a Boilermaker at
Hey, guys.
Purdue University.
This isn't The Voice, all right? Take down all the judgmentalness, all right?
Thanks.
Wow.
We're helping him out. We got
Living a dream, you
If
know?
he
One
can't
more.
handle
Last
this, an
one.
audience will kill him. Go ahead.
All right, so this morning I was reading a story in the news about how AIDS drugs can cause premature aging. Premature aging, and yet somehow Magic Johnson continues to look like a chubby toddler.
All right, we'll get back to you. Send us a tape. You know,
Jesus, Nick.
So thank you guys.
You gotta
First of all,
stop pausing.
that's good.
Stop pausing.
Yeah, you
Yeah, the
Stop
pause
pausing.
killed that one.
Exactly.
All
You should,
right.
it's
He
actually
looks
better
like
Does he-
a chubby toddler. And now you know the rest of the joke.
That's the
doing a
I'm
Magic
Paul
Johnson.
Harvey.
Paul Harvey.
Good day.
Turn the page.
No, but
He's kind of like a modern day Stephen Wright, though, isn't he? I mean, kind of
No.
weird.
No,
He
it's
isn't.
not.
No,
at
he's
all.
not. Okay.
Nothing like Stephen
Not
Wright,
even-
other than they have both
I
have
tried.
feet and hands.
he made eye contact.
You shouldn't make fun of AIDS jokes and premature, especially poor Dave has a gray in his beard.
Yeah,
That's
really,
just kind of
honestly.
creepy.
Past my meds. But no, I thought that was good. But the Magic Johnson thing, don't you think that's a little played out? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, and a little tasteless. Am I right or wrong, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Let's not go there.
I brought my whole family to see your show, and
Yeah, exactly. We don't appreciate that
Some
type.
things should only be said through
My
a
bad,
puppet.
guys.
It's true. Some things only the puppet should say. He's more randy. How about another one, though? You're a joke writer, which in this world of comedy, can I say one thing? The fact that guys even writing jokes is pretty impressive because everybody's like, I'm just going to go up there and say what I feel, and it's always boring and dumb. So the fact that you're writing actual jokes is very cool.
If you want to call the AIDS virus a joke, I mean, I don't consider that to be humorous.
Somebody get Jim a green tea.
Yeah, let's hear one more. Let's hear one more. This time, don't do the pause.
Yeah,
I think
do
you
this
only-
instead.
Did you only
See if
prepare
we can
three?
plow through.
Yeah.
Stomp the yard, as they used to say. Go ahead.
All you got's three, huh? That's it? Can you?
That's all I got.
Oh, come on. Well, now rip on the crowd.
He's leaving you wanting more,
Come
guys.
on.
He's got nothing.
Something else.
Come on, you're 2 jokes away from headlining. Do it. You're 4 jokes away from America's Funniest Home Video.
You
Come
want to
on.
do some of your rapper stuff? Do you remember any of that stuff?
Oh,
you did
you're not going to
yesterday?
wig out up here, are you?
Do the
No,
baseball
I'm just
joke.
blinking.
Do the baseball
I'm looking
joke.
for a guy for my
Baseball
White
joke.
Power
Yeah.
tour.
All right,
He's got
the
a
baseball
baseball
joke.
joke.
You guys, this is a good one.
All right,
Why
so how do
don't
you
you
guys?
open with, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
When
one of
did
those is
Eddie
good.
Vedder
Yeah.
start
you guys
telling
heard that
jokes?
the L.A. Dodgers
Yeah,
filed
the
for
pause.
bankruptcy, right?
Yes, Dodgers
Yes.
filed bankruptcy. Yes.
Stop
So-
asking the audience if they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That really is going
I just need to
tell
set it
them.
up.
Because you know what they're going to say? They're going to go, "You suck." That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Well, here's
I
the
learned that the hard way.
You
in
have to
comedy.
address them and go, by the way, scumbags, the
Yeah.
Dodgers have filed for bankruptcy.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, scumbags, the Dodgers have filed for bankruptcy, and the most important reason that you know that your team has filed for bankruptcy is the vendor yells out, "Popcorn, peanuts, baseball franchise."
You know, these are. Are you preparing for jokes or whispers after a night of lovemaking to the head of the IMF? Honestly. I don't know what
That's my
they're teaching
pillow
in the
talk.
school system here,
All right,
but
hey, get out of here, Nick. I'm not going to put you through this.
Get out of
don't you have
guys.
anything like more risk?
Wait, Jim, we need someone to warm up before you come out tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Just
a good
stick 'em out
idea.
there.
Yeah, you go up there and do a few minutes.
A few minutes.
Or just
All he's
one-
got is those 4. That's it.
That's all right. With those
Well, take
pauses,
some-
We've got to
that'll cover the
retool
5.
those jokes today.
I know, it takes him 3 minutes to tell a joke, so
That's right.
those 3, he can do a nice, about 10 minutes. We're just joking.
Oh, don't leave the room. Get back in here.
Jesus Christ.
Where you
Coward.
Stick with it.
girl?
Yeah, but you got to admit that he did have the timing perfect for like L.A. alternative comedy.
Oh,
That,
absolutely.
Like, little
He had the look
whispery.
down. He definitely
did,
had the-
yeah.
He was awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He was like, I don't know if I, but he's been doing it 30 years. You know, like one
Oh,
of those
my
guys,
God.
like always nervous.
Oh, that forced shyness that a lot of them have, and that forced, I think I'm kind of ugly and quirky, but I know I'm really
Those
handsome.
alt rooms, it's like the blue collar tour for nerds. As far
really
as
is.
like the audience,
Comic-Con.
it's-
Yeah.
and they're always talking about how smart their crowds are. It's just so incestuous. What's
Yeah,
like, hey, you agree with everything I say? God, you guys are a smart crowd.
Yeah, you guys really get a bunch of self-congratulating nonsense. That's why we like the
Billie
pigs that
Jean
show up at
King
our show.
glasses.
This worked in West Hollywood. It'll definitely work in East St. Louis. No.
206-421-ROCK.
Because they're not
873
smart.
Rock.
They're not smart enough, Dave.
Exactly. Well,
It's a good point. I totally agree with that. You got to be able to play wherever you are, and most of America is not, like you said, the quirky, weird stuff.
Yeah. The only reason why I'm trashing them is because they've taken so many shots at mainstream stand-up comics, and then you go to do a damn benefit with them, right? And then who's going on last? The hacks.
Yeah.
They're sticking us on left.
Exactly.
Why don't you go on there with your brilliant Micronaut bit?
And they attack like Larry the Cable Guy, like that's a dangerous target. It's like, well, sorry, the guy's selling out arenas, and you're talking to 40 people in a coffee house.
You're living off a trust fund from your Persian parents who moved here after the Shah was overthrown.
There's a Biggie Tupac moment happening in stand-up, I think.
Yeah. I'm tired of those phony mavericks.
This kid really did open up a can of worms. I'm glad he got on the show.
Exactly. I want to make love to him.
Josh in Tacoma, you're on with Jim Norton, Dave Attell, and Bill Burr, and also
how far is Tacoma from Spokane? How far is that?
Oh, that's a long way.
It's like an 8-hour drive.
Oh wow, not 8 hours, but
no, it's about 5. Would you say 5?
You're in a leotard.
4.5 from Tacoma, about.
Oh yeah, but I just got a nice 4th of July story for you guys.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so last year, me and a friend of mine went out and got some fireworks. And when I say some, I mean we literally bought fireworks like we were Charlie Sheen buying Coke.
Yeah.
The trunk of the car is full, and we go back to his place because it's legal to light off fireworks in Puyallup. And literally, he gets the idea of we should have a Roman candle fight. I agree because we've been smoking something. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up lighting his hair on fire because he tried to duck, but he didn't duck fast enough.
You should do what me and my friends do. We have Roman war helmet fights. Does nobody know what a Roman war helmet is?
No. I'm picturing the Trojan one.
It's when you lay back and the one friend over your nose.
Snorkeling.
Oh my God, dude!
You never heard of a Roman war helmet?
No.
Wow.
Oh, come on.
Jeez, you're talking shop over
They don't have that on
Let's try to catch up here. I don't know the lingo, Jim.
That lingo shouldn't be in anybody's language.
Yeah.
This kid is correct. It's hard. Buying fireworks now is like buying Coke. It really is. I mean, honestly. And where did you buy them? Where did you buy those fireworks?
Oh, is he still there? Hold on.
We lost him? All right. Well, either way, let me speak for this kid. Any fireworks story that doesn't end with, like, and now I have to eat out of a tube, or, I realized, that whatever, a helper monkey is, like, not just a friend, but a real,
It's a helper monkey. All right, guys, tonight, it's going to be awesome. And again, you've got to see this show.
And we all go on stage together at the end, too, and talk to the audience a little bit. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's like my favorite part of the show.
So it's Jim Norton, it's Dave Attell, Bill Burr, and Jim Brewer on stage tonight at the Paramount Theater. It's the BJ Shea second annual Comedy Riot, the Antisocial Tour. And you got to check it. Tickets.com, or you can get them at the door, but there aren't that many left. So make sure you want to get in. These guys really, and Jim was laughing, but these guys do give you a great show. They don't go out there and mail it in frankly, like a lot of comedy out there. And that's why we love that we have our name on this show, because you guys do a great job out there.
Thank you, man. Thanks for helping us out with the show.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
We're happy you're doing it.
Thank you. We had an awesome time.
See you guys tonight.
Thank you, guys.